World on Joe Rogan Podcast.
And I can sort of understand that in the sense of, like, I'm not an adrenaline junkie. Like, I don't go for skydives or, any of that stuff. It doesn't drive me. But that thrill and rush I get of, darting a bear or working with a lion or doing, swimming with an anaconda, like, that fuels me for weeks. Like, yeah. I get getting goosebumps thinking about some of them right now because I get not just for a personal rush, but rather, we're doing it for work or whatever. But those moments stick with me forever. And I sort of get that, but not like I'm just going to risk my life over this climb or whatever, So
what are your
sort
thoughts
of different
on giant anacondas? Like, because there's always been this thing about enormous anacondas that live in the rainforest.
So, yeah, there's fascinating. So I love anacondas. I believe, and I've got a colleague, Brian Fry, in Australia, actually, and he has a similar belief that there are 30-foot anacondas. Now, 30 is a big anaconda, but you're talking about those mysterious, like 50, 100-footers.
Yeah.
Okay, so take out the Amazon and take out anacondas for a second.
Okay.
All right? Think about where all the largest snakes are in the world. Okay?
Florida.
Well, now, yes, but we've got all these wet tropical environments that house these huge snakes. In Indonesia, you have reticulated pythons, you have Burmese pythons, you have African rock pythons, Indian rock pythons, anacondas, all these big snakes.
Yeah.
The only place that has a wet, tropical, humid, high-density of prey environment that doesn't have a massive snake is the Congo, Central Africa. Now,
interesting.
Stay with me. That area is home to some African rock python stuff, but not big monster anaconda-sized ones, right? But during World War II, there was a colonel who flew over there, and this was a well-respected colonel. I'm sure, Jamie, you'll be able to find this very quickly. A well-respected, I forget, he had his wings or his patch of honor or whatever, very distinguished, who him and his two passengers in the plane both reported a 100-foot long snake. They flew over it once. They were like, wait a minute, what is that? They were Dutch-Belgium in the Congo. They flew over it once, went, what is that? And flew over it 2 more times to verify it and got so low to the ground that they said the snake struck at the airplane. And all 3 people, the pilot, this well-respected colonel, and the 2 passengers, had the exact same story of this giant snake in Central Africa.
Interesting.
Yeah, and yet no big snake has ever been proven from there. But it's also a very poorly biologically explored area. And most of the time, when these animals get this big, snakes or otherwise, they're in very low... Yeah, here's the picture.
They took a photo of it?
They did. Yeah, they did. They're in very low densities. So, that's the real photo over on the left there.
What did they think it was?
They thought it was a giant snake, a 50-foot long...
So that's the photo right there?
I believe so. But the story's fascinating of these colonels.
But they don't know, what kind of snake. They don't know if it was an anaconda or a python or...
It would be an undescribed species because the only snake there, the African rock python, doesn't get that big.
What is the biggest snake that we know? Oh, it says it measured approximately 50 feet in length, saw brown-green with a white belly, has a triangle-shaped jaw and a head 3 by 2 feet. Oh my God. A 3-foot head. The photo was later analyzed and verified to be genuine. Van Leerd claims that, is that how you say his name?
I'm not sure, but that was the colonel, Remy Van Leerd.
As he flew lower for a closer inspection, the snake rose up approximately 10 feet, giving a warning that it would have attacked the helicopter if it had been within striking range.
But imagine flying over and having a snake sort of lunge at a helicopter.
Man, a 3-foot snakehead. Jesus Christ.
Jamie, do you mind going to my Instagram quickly?
Swallow you alive.
Dude, look at this one. I posted a picture day before yesterday. This is 18 feet, and look at the size of it compared to me and how scary this snake is. Now, to think of, like you said, you're like an M&M to a snake that
You're
size.
a Tic Tac.
Yeah.
One of them chocolate-covered almonds that are so good for you.
Yeah.
Whoa, look at the size of that thing.
That's an 18-footer, and look at how...
God.
Granted, it's not 3-foot by 2-foot head, but still, that thing,
What's the weight on something like that?
It was over 200. It broke our scale.
Wow.
Yeah, it was over 200 pounds.
Wow. Indonesian villagers claim to have captured a python that is almost 49 feet long and weighs nearly 990 pounds.
I've seen this. It's not verified at all.
Do they have an image of it?
This might be the one that's on the tractor. No, it's not. There's a fake one on a tractor that
It's fake?
floated around. Well, it's just very forced perspective. It's like a wide-angle lens, and the snake is right in front, but it looks massive.
But this is NBC. This is NBC News. Let's see if it has images of this sucker.
So these are all like retics, and there are big
Whoa,
snakes out there.
Look at the size of that goddamn thing.
Yeah.
Jesus. So, what is the biggest snake? Is it a python? The biggest snake that we know of?
So the heaviest is the reticulated python.
Look at the size of that thing.
Yeah.
How big is that?
That's big. It's probably 20-ish. So there's quite a lot of 20-foot snakes out there. And then there's a couple 21, 22s, but that's it. And so there's all these rumors of 30-foot snakes and 40-foot snakes and blah, blah, blah. And there's nothing that's been verified outside of one skin, I believe. I want to say from Indonesia, that is but skin stretch. That's the other thing,
it
too.
turns out to be a tall tale. It says when Recreation Park in Indonesia put a huge reticulated python on show last week, keepers insisted to reporters it was 49 feet long, making it the longest ever caught. But the find turned out to be a tall tale.
Yeah.
So how big was it exactly?
I bet it was 20-ish. 21, there it is.
Yeah, 21 feet still.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's a big snake, man.
But not 50.
Not 50.
What does it say? I have no idea why the snake has shrunk, said one keeper when asked about the discrepancy as the snake lounged on a tree branch inside the cave. But things do shrivel up when you catch them.
Yeah.
You know, like fish do. Like when you
The
catch
animals?
a fish. Yeah.
Well, definitely when you tell people about it, but...
Show people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went fishing
was
here in Austin
dehydrated.
this morning.
Oh, did you really?
Right
Where?
downtown, literally right in front of the Google building.
Lady
we were
Bird
pulling
Lake?
Lady Bird Lake.
Yeah,
pulling
there's a lot of
bass
bass out there.
It was awesome,
yeah,
man.
it's a great little spot.
Yeah. In front of it, yeah.
Yeah. So the biggest in the world is the python, right? So they are bigger than anacondas?
So it's sort of a toss-up. The reticulated python has been clocked as the heaviest snake in the world because they get fatter, but the anacondas have been clocked in slightly longer. I think 26 feet is the longest ever recorded.
Did you ever see the
verified.
Jennifer Lopez movie, Anaconda?
The documentary? Yeah. Yeah, it's great.
It's such a corny movie,
It's
man.
so good. The bad, snake head, if you watch it
so
today.
bad.
It's so bad.
It's so bad. But that was always the rumor, is that there was enormous snakes in the Amazon,
Yeah.
and that, you just didn't see them.
Free fruit for kids while you shop.
What do you got there? That's the fresh food feeling.
However these 6 symptoms of acid reflux feel to you, Gaviscon Dual Action acts in the stomach to neutralize acid fast and form a protective layer. For 6 symptoms, think Gaviscon. If you suffer from heartburn and indigestion during pregnancy, try Gaviscon Extra Strength Liquid because a growing baby can put pressure on a mother's stomach, causing reflux. Available in 2 flavors for fast, effective relief.
I do believe that there are some megafauna out there that are yet to be found, that are in low populations.
Like, you believe in the sloth, the giant sloth?
I believe that has and again, that's like the thylacine. It's a proven animal. It's been 10,000 years, but it doesn't mean that it couldn't be extant in certain remote areas. Same with some of these big snakes. Maybe not 50, because maybe these things are embellished, but maybe 30, maybe 35, right? And I just think that there are a few, not a lot, of these big things out there. If you're one of these uncontacted Amazonian tribes, of which there are still several, West Papuan tribes, whatever, and you're seeing a 50-foot snake, nobody in the Western world, we're not hearing about that.
Right.
Those things can be happening, and those stories get embellished and passed on and all of that, but we wouldn't even know until Western science gets in there. And it's sort of a double-edged sword, because once it does, it sort of ruins certain aspects of that, right? So, but I do believe that there are big animals to be found still.
I was very lost and very alone, and I was on day 6 or something of being lost. I don't remember. No, it wasn't that long. It was solo. But I was lost and I was scared. I was in a
How did you
hammock.
get lost?
Well, as soon as you leave the river, you could literally walk 15 feet and then be like, I'm just going to come right back. And the jungle will, Blair Witch you. Because it's all green. So you just think you know what you're doing. Just last week, I took people, I wanted to cross from one trail to another trail, and I was like, I'm a guide, I can do this. And I came back out on the same trail a half hour later, and I was like, yep, that's what I meant to do, let's go. It happens to JJ all the time.
Really?
You cannot find your way in the
Do you
jungle.
use a compass?
Don't use a compass.
Why not?
Because actually, apparently, some of the iron content and some of the saps in the trees pulls the needle. It doesn't work really well.
Even the trees are trying to trick you. Oh my God.
GPSs run out of batteries. You know, it's like you really just you have to learn your bushcraft. You have to learn how to navigate in the jungle, and it's like there, which is pretty much you have to get just amazing at dead reckoning and remembering your course, because it's so dense that like we play with people. We go, you know, go see if you can go from here to there. It's like they can't go there. They can't do that as soon as you leave the river. So like I had gone out on this solo, gotten lost, gotten scared, and then been like, oh shit, what if I just like into the wild it myself? What if now I'm gonna be the next kid that went and died in the Amazon? And like I like slept in the hammock, but this is like as I was learning, so I didn't realize that the hammock that I had bought had a mosquito net on top, but the back was not mosquito proof, so they could stick through. So my back was being destroyed by mosquitoes as I'm trying to sleep. And like a couple of nights of that, and so I finally fall asleep, and I wake up in the middle of the night, and I hear breathing right next to my face, and I like wanted to turn my headlamp
I
on,
knew it.
and I just hear like right here, like I could feel her breath, and I was like 6 inches away from a jaguar's face, and she just like, you know, and then left, and she just came in. She wanted to see what that was. She was like, you're not going to move. That's what you're not going to do. She growled like right into my ear. And then later on. That one's cute, though. That's a cute picture. That's a cute jag.
Wow. And they vary in colors and the spots and everything, right? Like some of them are much darker.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, actually, somebody recently was like, where do you see panthers? And I went on this whole weird thing of like, you know, a leopard or a jaguar, just like you can have albinos, you have a melanistic one. Yeah.
Wow.
So like people would call that a panther, but a panther's not a real. There's no animal that's a panther. It's like a Kleenex. It's like it's just another name for it.
That is so beautiful.
But a black
Look
jag.
at that thing.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's beautiful.
Yeah, in South India they have the black leopards.
What an
which are
amazing
stunning.
looking animal.
Look at the muscles.
Yeah, it's an amazing killing machine. And so humans don't get taken out by them?
I can only really speak for our region of the Amazon, but I haven't even heard a story about it.
Really?
Like, no one. Our jags are just, we have like record numbers of jags. Like I think they're listed as near threatened, and we have like some of the strongest remaining jaguar populations in the world. It's incredible.
And you barely see them.
We barely see them. The last one I saw was 2 years ago, and some people like go their whole lives without seeing them.
Really?
Yeah. Well, because people walk off into the jungle and they don't realize. People, it's so funny living in the wild and seeing people show up there. And it's like people come and they're like, they smell like shampoo and cologne and bug spray and deodorant. And they're just like, if to an animal that has such better senses than we do, they might as well just have like sirens on them. And like, you are this shiny, glittering foghorn of attention in the jungle, and like every animal's going to run away from you. And so people are always like, how come you go out and you see so much stuff? And it's like, I only shower in the river. I live out in the jungle. I smell like they do. Like I'm out there for weeks, and it's like I'm not going and like shampooing my hair. It's like, and so like to these animals, like they know when you're coming. Like a jag's just gonna be like, oh, there's a human.
Do you wash with soap when you wash in the river?
I do use a biodegradable soap. You have to keep your skin clean or else you just get infections. But like for the most part, like my clothing, everything, like I don't use anything that's scented because of that, because I want to be out there and just blend in. And that's whether I'm out in the field with elephants or whether you're out in the, you know, in Africa or India or whether you're in the Amazon. I want to be sort of like included. I want to blend in. And so like not that long ago I was checking a camera trap, and I thought it was we had students at our research station at the time, and I heard like the leaves going, you know, it was September, so the jungle was dry. And I turned around and I was going to scare this person because I was going to be like, who walks that loud in the jungle? Like, you have no respect. And I turned around with my finger up, and this jag walked right by me on the trail. And he was like, what's up? I just kept walking. I was like, finger up. And I was like, okay.
Oh, Lord.
But I took that as good because at least I was, my like scent trail was so that he didn't know I was there. I could see it on his face. He didn't care. He was like, hey. But I mean, it was 6 feet away. He didn't even break his stride. He just walked by me and was like, yo, what's up?
They don't think of you as food, so they just keep moving.
No, and I think they're, with big cats, the mothers teach the young how to hunt, and I think they're so oriented, like with tigers, they're so oriented on horizontal, get the neck from underneath, break the neck from up top. And it's like when they see a vertical animal walking by, I think they're like, first of all, I don't know what this is. Second of all, it smells weird. Third of all, where do I even, you got to be desperate to take that risk. I don't think that lions are a different story, but with jags, with tigers, with leopards, I've never ever felt any fear being around a jaguar, like any fear. I don't even take pictures of them. I just enjoy it.
Wow.
I let other people take pictures. If I'm with people, I let them take pictures, but I will not lift my camera for a jag. I'll just stand there and
just take it in.
Yeah. You get to see them so rarely. I don't want to sit there finally seeing one and then put another screen in front of my face.
Right.
Look through some glass. Like,
sometimes perfect doesn't always look it. Copper kettle, crafted to imperfection.
Whoa.
yeah. Yeah, that's our camera.
They've started them. That's from yours?
Yeah.
Wow, look at that thing.
Yeah.
That is so majestic. What an amazing animal. Those glowing eyes.
Well, that's the crazy thing. You shine your headlamp into the night, and then when things look back at you, you got to wonder what it is. It's like,
well, when there's two eyes in the front,
there's two eyes in the front, yeah. But sometimes the deer, but then the jags do this thing where they move their head like this. They try and see around your headlamp. They'll do this little side to side thing. Like the deer, they'll just blink at you. They'll just blink, and so you start learning the eye shines. You start learning because then you can be out there at night and you look at something and people are like, oh shit, dude, it's a jag, and it's like, no, it's a deer.
When you were saying that the uncontacted tribe were speaking in monkey calls, what are they doing?
So, JJ's dad used to tell us, he said, if you're ever out in the forest and something doesn't sound right, he was like, get out of there. And he was like, because they will use the tinamou calls, like the undulated tinamou is like, but like, we know what that sounds like, but we also know what it doesn't sound like. And so like every now and then you'll hear one that's, different. And like we all get freaked out because we're like, that's how we do it. That's how JJ taught me to do it. Like if there was a bunch of tourists right there and JJ wanted me to come over and like chill with him and we wanted to go hang, he would just do that and get my attention. And like I know that it's not a tinamou, I know it's JJ. And so it's like they've taken that to a whole nother level where they can communicate. And so there was a group of guys who was upriver and they got surrounded. They heard monkey calls coming from different directions. And they realized they were completely surrounded. And they, like at least one of the guys who was telling it to me, he got in the water and like crawled like a turtle and like escaped. And then the tribe showed up and there's this whole showdown where they actually shot one of the community members. And then one of the guys who knows some of their language was saying that it looked like they were mad with the guy that shot the guy. They were mad with him. Like they were like, why did you do that? Now there's going to be retaliation. Like, why did you shoot him? And like there was like a whole discussion happening while these people were like huddled in the stream waiting to see if they got killed too. So it's like, I don't really, like, so when you get these loggers going in there, it's like, yo, we'll pay you to protect the rainforest. And like, you don't have to do this. You don't have to be going into these areas that are that dangerous. So at this point now though, through all of this though, we've established jungle keepers. We have 50,000 acres. We're trying to do 300,000 acres. And if we can do that, we'll basically be helping to establish one of the largest protected areas in the Amazon rainforest, which will encompass these uncontacted people, and they can stay uncontacted and they can stay safe and do whatever they want to do in the jungle, guarding the secret pyramids and the giant ground sloths or whatever the hell it is that they do. But we're close.
Now, how many uncontacted tribes are they aware of?
I think there's like over 100 different groups across the Amazon. There's also varying degrees of, and the other thing is the conversation so often gets turned to like they're, violent, and that they're people to live out in the jungle, and I have no idea how they do it either. Because at night we need headlamps. We don't have night vision. All the animals have night vision. So it's like, what do they do that night? They're able to make fire in the jungle at night every day. If I gave you an entire book of matches, me and you, we sat down right now in the jungle. I was like, okay, cool. You got a machete and a book of matches. First one to make fire wins. We couldn't do it. It's wet. Everything is wet. So how are they? What's their? Are they doing bow drill? What are they doing?
We don't know.
We don't really know. No. We don't know how they do that. We don't know how they stay infection free. We don't know what they do with their old people. We never see old people. We never really see children. And so they move around, and we see groups of men on beaches. We see that picture, that aerial picture where you see a family group out. That's in turtle season, where you have turtles laying their eggs on the beaches, and the tribes will come out because that's easy food. You just pick up turtle eggs and eat them. But there's so much that we don't know about their lifestyle, and people get so many things wrong. Just if you leave them alone, then they won't kill you. If then people go, oh, they're Stone Age tribes, and it's like, well, they're not Stone Age tribes because they're alive right now, and you couldn't live out in the jungle, but they can.
Right.
So it's there's elements of their